Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between the Lanes. I'm Walker.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Ron, and we did this backwards tonight. So Walker forgot to tell you this is episode 101, but that's okay. It's like starting over. Last week was 100, now we're at 101.
We need to learn something this week.
Okay, we'll try. If you'll be the teacher. Anyway, welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 101. Find us on YouTube. Slot Racer is a channel. We now have 101 episodes up, along with some how-to videos and then some other special episodes. Facebook, Between the Lanes is the page. And race results for last weekend. I guess that was the weekend of like the 14th. The winning report. The annual Retro East Endurance Race for Retro Can-Am / coupe cars, and I think they ran coupe bodies this year. First place team was the X-Men, Brian Cochran, John Molnar, Doug Griffith, Preston Selfinger, and Vinny Cafazzo was the winning team. And the second team was El Gato. I don't have any photos of the other teams. And that was Pat Skaggs, Andy Wasserman, Dave Brooks, Adam Chaya, Dan Weigard. And the third place team was Maximum Security with Matt Bruce, Bill B., Charlie, Tim, and Gary Clinton Jr. And I think the winning team only won by like 10 laps, and then third place team was 5 laps behind them or something. It was a pretty close race after 6 hours. The AWRA was at the slot car track Concord.
Oh, boy.
And we have one of the winning drivers with us tonight, 2-time Walker McNulty. So on the oval track, in the stock car class, Walker was the winner. Nick Brantley was second, and Charles Eldridge was third. Who was fourth?
Probably
Probably the guy next to him.
Tommy was.
Tommy Campbell. And then Jimmy Johnson was fifth. You were TQ, weren't you?
Yep.
And the legends on the MTT, Walker won again, doubling up with Nick second, Nick Brantley, and Tommy Campbell third. Charles was fourth, and Gizmo was fifth. And the sportsman class on the King Cobra, Charles was the winner. Nick was second, and Leland Buwalda, the little guy there, was third. Randy was fourth, and Walker was fifth, getting beat by his dad. What happened there?
Stripped a gear in the first heat.
Oh, okay.
Go me.
Are you to pull the sweep?
Yeah, I TQ'd everything. I wanted to win everything, but it didn't happen.
Didn't happen. That'll happen.
It's okay.
Okay.
Got to get rid of some bad luck before this weekend.
Okay. The Mid-American Slot Car Club was at Thaser Raceway in South Bend, Indiana. And the winning team was Old School.
They look happy.
Huh?
They look happy.
There was a little controversy in this race. We can talk about that a little bit later. But second place was Pro Slot Sport Team, and third place was Team Sewell. Buena Park Raceway had SCRRA. F1 race, Mel Conroy was the winner. Dale Yamashita second. Brian Warmack in third. And Can-Am Brian Warmack was the winner with Dale Yamashita second. And Dennis Samson was third. And then Cap Henry won the sprint car. His first sprint car win of the year. Last year he had like 4 or 5 in a row or something. So he won at Fremont Speedway last weekend. First race of the win. Congrats, Cap. Been a rough year for them. He's had a couple of flips, I think, this year. And so good to see him in the winner's circle. Another slot car racer in the winner's circle. And that's our winner chicken dinner report. There was a Gator, or not a Gator. There was a Florida Slot Car Series race last weekend, but I haven't seen any results, so we'll hopefully talk about that next weekend.
Money, money, money.
Money, money, money. That's pretty good. That's we didn't even talk about that. But this weekend is the Big Money Womp race at Turn and Burn Raceway, Knoxville, North Carolina. Gator Retro Racing Region is at Fast Eddie's. There is a special money race at Hueytown Speedway. And there's a fun race, John Austin fun race at Mid-America in Naperville. The weekend of the 27th, we got Retro at Dallas Slot Cars, Rocky Mountain Retro Racing Association, East Coast Flexi Series is in action, and the Nats leftover race at the Slot Car Track Concord. Maybe you'll get some sleep one of these days, Walker. And the first week of August, we got the Battle of the Colonies Retro Race, and the AWRA is in action. So that's what's going on the next couple races. What are you playing with there, Walker?
Oh, I'm watching my mom.
Are you? What's she doing?
Cutting vinyl.
Okay.
I
So
was trying to keep her quiet. I was shushing her, but she wouldn't listen.
that's okay. So I said there was a little controversy at the Mid-America Enduro race. It really wasn't a controversy, but the winning team ran a chassis. I probably should add a picture of it, but the intent of the hard body series is to take a approved chassis kit and somewhat assemble it within the box the rules are written in. And the winning team, they took some liberties. In my opinion, they read the rules. They built a car the way they interpreted the rules. Maybe it was not within the spirit of the rules, but I think it was still a legal thing. But it's one of those don't bring that car back again deals. But they added some brass up where it probably shouldn't have been, and a different front end and a different back end. But at the same time, the rule said you could run a replacement motor tab, motor mount, whatever, and they put kind of a retro chassis bracket in there, and kind of like a back agger thing, and made it really super long. Like the wheelbase and guide length was super long compared to the other cars, and they were fast. I mean, from looking at race lap times, they were like 2/10 faster than everybody else. So. It was a handout motor race. I don't know if maybe they got a super duper motor. Wasn't there? I haven't really talked to anybody. I'm just going by what I've seen on Facebook, but don't bring that car back.
It was all pieced.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. I mean, there was some ingenuity in the deal and some pretty good thinking. And again, I don't know if it's was all the car or all the motor or a combination of both. And so there you have it. So our topic tonight will be handout motors versus sealed motors.
Yeah, boy.
And then we'll go into another topic, but because okay, so like this weekend is the race, the money race down in Moxville, and one class will be handout motors. I don't know. I guess it's handout. I mean, you got to buy your motors at the track the morning of the race for the NASCAR class.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's really a handout deal, but I don't know. I don't think there's any limit on how many you can buy either.
There's not one.
So, and then the other classes bring your own sealed motors for the Womps. But so, a lot of races. I mean, we went to the money race last October in Durham.
Yeah.
Some challenges. Both classes was handout motors, and then sometimes you go to other races like FNRS races. Is that the monster, or what is that?
That's the vinyl cutter. I told her to shush, but she won't listen.
I have work.
He's got work. I think we can work through it.
Yeah, we should be okay.
Okay, so Walker, if you're going to a race,
Jeez.
Walker, tune that out. Just pay attention.
I'm listening.
Okay. So what would you rather do? Would you rather go to a race that's handout motors that are sealed, or just go to a race where you can run your own sealed motor?
Handout motors that are sealed.
Okay.
If you're running a sealed motor, I'd much rather it be a handout race.
Okay.
Because then that takes away any suspicion of anybody in the building. You know, sure, you can still do stuff to the handout motor or whatever, but like we're running Hawk 7s out of the packaging, and so you get them in the morning, and then you got to break them in and get them on the car and practice them and make sure they're good in only a couple hours. So there's no time really, if you were going to cheat something up, to actually do it.
Right.
So I like that better than the chance of somebody being like, I want to cheat this time. Let me just open up this Hawk 7 and put
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, there's always people that say that. I mean, there's a few people that say that, but
there's a lot of people that accuse that, and that's why I like handout motor racing, because you don't have to deal with the accusations.
Right, and I think the other thing too is like economically, it's cheaper. Like this weekend. Let's just say if you're going to handout race, they have a 2 or 3 motor limit.
Yeah.
You're going to buy 2 or 3 motors. Now, if you're going to go to some race and it's bring your own motors, a guy can buy 1 motor or the next guy can buy 20 motors.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to
motors, he's going to have an advantage over somebody that buys less motors.
Yeah, exactly.
So
then it turns into the guy who has the most money to spend on Hawk 7s.
Right.
So that's why I like, if you're running sealed motors, I like it being handout.
Okay. Justin?
If I was to travel to a race that was running sealed motors, I would want it to be handout, just for a better likelihood of everything being equal, because all the motors in theory would be at least out of the same batch.
Right.
Where if you have it there's multiple different batches. So like there's one batch that was maybe 0.2 faster than another, and some guys got like 40 of those motors. And they've got a couple motors out of the batch that's slower.
Right.
That's just one less thing you have to worry about on a handout motor race.
Yep.
And honestly, I think those are some of my favorite races, are handout motor races.
So I just muted Walker. So Walker, when you want to say something, just unmute yourself and you can talk, and then mute yourself. And we don't have to listen to that noise.
All right, that's sweet.
Yeah, see how it works?
Well, it might even be better if we just keep him muted the whole episode.
I thought he's going to unmute himself and say something. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like I said, I think, okay, like if I'm going to go to a race and it's going to be handout motors or sealed motors, I'd rather almost go do handout motors because it's cheaper in the long run.
Yeah.
And then it's the perception that everyone's out of the same batch of motors. I mean,
right.
Even with that said, there's good motors, there's bad motors, and there's stuff in between. But as we've talked a million times, it doesn't always come down to motor either. So
right. Yeah, I mean, that's just one more thing to, in theory, level the playing field.
Right.
And make the chassis building and driving portion of it just that much more of a factor.
Yeah, it puts more of a premium on those two items. And I mean, like you go to Israel Worlds and it's, handout motors, even handout tires. I mean, I prefer to go to the bigger races and just run handout tires because that's cheap.
Me too. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a huge portion of time and money when going to a race, is trying to figure out what tires will work, make sure you have enough of them, and so on.
Yep. And then you get there and you still need something that you didn't bring or bought, or sometimes you get there and what you need to have, you can't even get.
Right.
That's when it gets fun.
Right.
Or like you bring say 3 pair of something, but you wear a pair out practicing on accident or something. So then you're out of tires.
Right.
And the store doesn't have any.
Right.
So then you're just like lost.
Yep.
And I mean, like, there's some rubber that you just can't get at stores.
Exactly.
So if you run out of stuff or you want to rubber it, then there's no way to do it.
Okay, so on the topic of handout, and this could go. I mean, it can go both ways, but
Mm.
so I'll ask Walker first. Do you prefer spec pinions or leave the pinions like run what you brung?
In a handout motor race, I like spec pinions because they're already making it spec, so why not make it more spec?
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you buy the pinion from them or if you bring your own
Right.
pinion, because pinions don't really do
Right.
very much for you. But I like it being as spec as possible if you're going down the spec route. So handout tires, handout motor, and spec pinion is really a fun. It's a fun philosophy. Yeah, I said that right. Philosophy. It's a really good philosophy, and that's why like the Palooza is a really fun race because it's all spec. Everything's spec except for your chassis.
Right.
So that's what makes it a lot of fun, because then it's just all about the chassis.
Well,
And then
it's the
getting
whole
a
combo
good
thing
motor.
too. Getting your chassis to work with the tires that you're handing out,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully you get a good pair of tires.
and get your body to be working right on your car, and then driving.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem my dad had at the Palooza this year.
What was that?
The driving part.
Oh, he muted himself again.
It's going crazy, so.
Okay. So I think you kind of answered what your thoughts on the spec pinions were, Justin. So
Yeah, I mean, I would be okay with more spec pinion stuff. I mean, like the one time I've done flexi flat so far, that was, but I mean, it just again, it makes it more level,
easy,
more level playing field, just easier, less stuff you have to worry about
right?
when getting to the track. Don't have to worry about what somebody else is geared. Maybe the only difference would be the spur gear, and I mean, there's only so many options.
Right.
It's pretty easy to try that, because changing out pinions is a lot more work than changing out spur gears. It's just, I would be okay with it. I mean, that's one of the few things missing from ISRA that would basically, they'd hand you the parts for a whole car and you build it that day and then you qualify.
Now, do they have but they don't have a spec pinion in that, do they?
Right now.
Right.
Now, that's one of the few things that isn't spec in that class.
Well, and because guys will run 80 pitch and guys will run
Right.
72 or maybe 64. Now, in that race, is 3/32 the minimum axle size, or can you run 2 millimeter?
3/32 is minimum.
Okay. Because that's a whole nother issue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's allowed. I mean, well, yeah, because they got handout tires and they're not for 2 millimeter axles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that stops that.
You can always sleeve them.
I don't know. Can you sleeve them?
I don't know. It's probably too thin of a sleeve.
You probably have to have a special sleeve made.
Yeah.
Probably too thin of a sleeve.
And there would be no advantage of running a sleeved gear on. Well, I mean, you couldn't sleeve the 2 millimeter to fit on the 3/32. You have to drill it out.
Yeah. But you could sleeve a 3/32 to fit on the 2 millimeter.
Right.
And I mean, and
But there's no advantage.
Tires on 2 millimeter, but yeah, there's no
And
advantage.
another thing, you still have to make the car last an hour. It's a lot easier to do that with 3/32 than 2 millimeter axle.
Right.
Just don't hit anything, Justin. God. How hard is that?
Sometimes it can be pretty hard. Kind of like Group 10 at Nats.
Yeah, you had a great race then.
Oh, yeah.
Or like GTP at Nats for you.
Yeah.
Or GTP at Nats for Ron. Ron had a fun one too.
Well, spun a gear and broke a lead wire.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much funner than that. I mean, I had a good time. I mean, stuff happens.
Yeah.
I mean, prior to that, I don't know when the last time was I had a gear spin. I mean, there was no reason why it spun to begin with. So, but it still spun. I thought it was a Pinion.
Who tightened it?
I tightened it. I mean,
Okay.
again,
You should have said somebody else just so you could blame them, you know?
no, it was all me.
It was all Terry's fault.
Well,
Terry did it.
Terry ran a car I worked on, and Roger ran a car I worked on, and their gears didn't spin, so go figure.
Because you were choking the chicken too hard trying to get it to go faster.
2 out of 3. I don't know. It happens. All right, so I guess the next topic is sealed motors versus built motors.
Yeah, boy.
So what do you prefer, Walker?
Built motors all day, every day. 24 hours of the week. However many hours are in a year.
So would you prefer, okay, so before we dive deep into this one, if the option is build a motor that has a Chinese arm, let's say like, okay, sealed $20 16D or Super 16D motors,
Mm-hmm.
or you can build those motors. Would you want to say sealed on that, or let
Built.
them still go built?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, to me, that's where the good drivers and the good car builders are able to excel, is being able to work on their stuff a little more. And like we've been running Chinese 16Ds in our Monday night races for NASCAR for years and years, and it's worked great for us because you can take them apart, you can work on them, you can cut down the arm, you can send the arm off if you want to, you can do whatever you want to within the rules, and it makes it just a little bit more fun to be able to work on your motor and kind of be like, happy that you got a better motor more because of building than just raw luck,
Justin?
Yeah.
For personally, I would do built motors because I just feel like I have a lot greater control over what happens with built motors.
Right.
The sealed motors, I mean, it's more of a luck of the draw, kind of, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Crapshoot.
And then, but for club racing and weekly racing and stuff, I would go for me personally, sealed motors is what I would go with because it's going to end up being cheaper, at least for me, than having to maintain a built motor program for like a weekly race, because that's putting a new set of brushes in it, cutting the comm, wear and tear on the comm tour.
Well, that's you.
Well,
Let's rephrase here. That's you.
I mean, typically I can get 5-6 races out of a Hawk 7 or so, at least.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 races out of a built motor before it has to be rebuilt.
Right.
Is that an American arm?
That
or
would
is
be
that a
like an
Chinese?
American Arm 16D or a C-Cam.
And see, if you go to Spec Pinion, you can get more races out of a motor.
Right.
Yeah.
If everybody's running 11 tooths, or 11 tooth is fast, but motors run hot and it makes them iffy.
Right.
Really say, all right, you got to run 10 tooth pinions, and that can. I mean, you can get spec or sealed and built motors and make them both live a little longer.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody will say, yeah, well, the cars are slower. Well, yeah, but you know what? It's the same for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody will be in the same speed zone. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. And see, our guys, we get MVS tagged motors from ProSlot.
Right.
And so our guys, they'll buy a motor, let me break them in for like 15 minutes, and then they get impatient and want me to put it in. So I put it in. And then they go and they race it 15 times. And then whenever the brushes finally wear out, instead of just putting another pair of brushes in or anything, they just buy another motor because they went months and months on one motor. I mean, you can make one Chinese 16D last over a year racing,
Right.
you know, once or twice a month.
Right. And when they run the motor that many races, the com's going to be pretty trenched. So by the time you get
Oh.
the com trued and get the trench out of it, you may not have any com left.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, if you do take care of it, you know, weekly, to go race a weekly race like Justin would because he just wants to beat everybody, then I mean, most of our guys like these motors. We tried running FKs, and none of them like them because they don't like that they can't work on the motor.
Right.
So all of our local guys are just trained to liking built motors because they can work on them.
They can maintain them or whatever, right?
Yeah. And almost all of our guys do maintain their stuff, and they make sure that everything's still the way they want it to be. Most of our guys, except for, like, my dad. But, I mean, so built motors for our specific raceway work better than, like, Hawk 7s or FKs because it's just what they like.
Right.
And they're okay with spending $40 on a motor if it lasts them what seems like forever.
Right.
And a lot of guys don't even buy a second motor. They quit before they have to get a new motor. So it really is a great philosophy for us. But for most tracks that are just starting, that didn't start in the 16D era, it's better for the sealed motors, I'm sure.
Right. And it makes it simple for the race runner because he only has to stock one or two motors versus, you know, 5 or 6. It depends on what type of motor you're running. But if let's say you're running C-can motors, I mean, how many different cans and end bells?
Yeah.
You know, you try stocking the parts and.
Yeah, I mean, ours, you have to run all stock equipment, all stock everything. It's just pro slot setup, pro slot magnets.
Right.
But you can change brushes and springs, and you can take it apart and through the comp.
Right. But what I'm saying is, like in 16D, there's only like 3 choices of cans.
Yeah.
In bells, magnets. You get into C cans, there's like 3 times that amount.
So you just figure out what you like the most because most of them are pretty similar in taste and weight and everything else that you might think about. So you just pick whichever one you like the most or whichever person you like the most.
Or just pick one and just make it simple for everybody.
Exactly.
And yourself and your inventory.
Yeah. Be like, okay, you're running this. What if I want to run that?
And I think that's one of the things that's kind of killed built motor racing is raceway owners don't know what to stock because there's so much stuff to stock.
Yeah, and then some of us end up not stocking anything.
Right.
Yep.
Or they stock a whole bunch of the wrong stuff.
Exactly.
Right. And they're not going to buy more stuff or different stuff until they get rid of what they've got on the wall and the money wrapped up into. And no one's going to buy it if it's not a hot ticket item. So stuck with it.
So then what you do is you get the fastest person at the raceway, a.k.a. Mr. Justin that works on his car all the time, to buy the worst thing on the wall and win with it. So then you sell all of them. And then you can buy everything else that you need to buy. Perfect. And that, my friend, is how you sell model car bodies for model car racing.
And Junior Sample says call BR549. That's for Walker. Top salesman of the month.
I need to be a used car salesman.
You'd hate to be one.
Oh, I'd love it.
Oh, you'd love it.
Oh, yeah. Because you know how much I love blowing smoke. That'd be so great. Lying about everything on the car. Oh, man, that'd be wonderful.
You can go to jail for that, you know.
What?
You can go to jail for that, you know.
That's what they all do, so.
Oh. Next week's topic, how to buy a used car with Walker McNulty.
Next week's topic, how to get bailed out of jail with Walker McNulty.
Okay, so big Womp race coming up this weekend. So what?
Are you racing in the Womps?
Well, if it goes around, I guess I will. If it's not too aggravating.
He got one of his old Parmas out of the closet. He's going to let her eat.
Not yet. So, what exciting happened on your track this last weekend with Womps? I mean, I guess let's just talk on the King Cobra because that's comparable to what.
Okay. Where do I start?
Well, you were there. Okay. My first question is: was there much launching in the bank?
Only a few people did it.
Okay. Is that after they've bent their cars?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only time that people went up the bank that didn't have bent cars, Charles, I'm talking to you, is because they didn't have any lead in their car or anything. It was just too light. It was with the Hawk 7, so they're all over the place.
Right.
You come out of that fast lead on and chattering all the way down the straightaway, you're going to hit the bank. So that's what he did. Twice. I mean, I did it once.
Oh, Charles launched twice and he still won?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it once and it made my car a tenth faster. So
you'll have that sometimes.
It must have knocked the magnets into place in that mini brute.
No, it just got the chassis bent the right way.
The Hawk 7.
Okay.
But I mean, other than that, there wasn't really. It was just a lot of carnage, a lot of cars everywhere. Charles had a cigarette in his mouth because he wanted to be like Shane.
I seen that.
I asked for one, but Mom wouldn't let me have one. I was kind of sad. I was pieced, so I really wanted one just to clamp down on and bite in half.
Get you a piece of licorice.
Do what?
Get you a piece of licorice.
It probably tastes worse.
What flavor?
All of them. I hate licorice.
There was a little bit of launching, but a lot of carnage, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Leland got third out of the B, so if that tells you anything, and Dab was fourth out of the B. So.
Was you in the A?
Yeah, I was top qualifier.
Oh, that's right. Because usually you're B main walker.
Yeah, well, I was top qualifier every race, but
home track.
Usually I'm B main. Hopefully I can qualify B main this weekend.
Home track advantage.
If I qualify A main this weekend, I'll be screwed.
You might be the fastest car there.
It's still a bad juju. I got to be like 9th fastest in qualifying to have a chance.
Well, you can always sandbag.
I mean, I could. It's halfway what I did in Durham. Not really, because I just suck at qualifying. But, yeah.
Well, at least you're honest.
I'm so bad at qualifying, it's not even funny.
We need to practice qualifying then.
It's hard to practice qualifying whenever it's not the same as whenever you're actually qualifying. Whenever you're actually qualifying, it's more of a – which now I'm better at qualifying because I'm not as nervy. But whenever I was, like, super nervy and on 5 monsters, it was a little weird for me qualifying because I'd be, like, just –
No, what I'm saying is you can practice qualifying in your raceway.
Do what?
You can practice qualifying in the race. I mean, like on a Wednesday night when no one's around.
Yeah, but it's not the same. You know what I mean?
Why is it not the same?
Because you don't have 50 people standing here. Exactly. It's different.
Okay.
I'm not a stage person, okay?
Oh, is that
I might
it?
seem like it, but I'm not a spotlight kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you get nervy with just like 20 people watching, let's wait till there's 100.
Yeah, what are you going to do at the Israel Worlds?
Well, okay, so I'm not going to TQ at Israel Worlds, so I'll be fine. If I TQ a class that actually matters, you saw how JRL went. I TQ'd, sucked the whole race. Okay, if I don't TQ,
I
I'm
don't
good.
think you sucked the whole race. I think you sucked like the last 30 seconds or something.
Oh, yeah.
No, I sucked the
you
whole
were
race.
able to win that race until the eighth heat, and then you just choked it away.
Yeah.
No, I choked it away the whole race. I kept wrecking. If I would have just stayed in, I could have wrecked as much as I did in the
You
AP.
just stayed in with 30 seconds to go, you would have won.
No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have caught him.
Yes, you would have.
No, I wouldn't have. I know I wouldn't have.
Well,
Eh.
if you stayed in the last minute, you would have.
Yeah, maybe the last minute, but not the last 30 seconds. There was no way.
You gotta lose one before you can win one, kid.
Exactly. I lost one. I lost two. I lost three. Damn. And then I won 3 in a row. So good me. Actually, no, not 3 in a row.
And then you lost the last one.
What?
And then you lost the last one.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I had some bad luck at the end of the week on the 5-track. Spin a pinion.
Who built that car?
Lose a gear. Goo goo. What do you expect? It was goo goo.
At least you got someone to blame.
Yeah.
See, I didn't have no one to blame on my gear spinning. It's all
Yeah,
me.
and then I one time, I think it was in GT12. See, 132nd Euro Sport, spun a pinion out of the lead. GT12 in the top 3 battle, had a good chance to win. Stripped a gear out of nowhere. So, had good luck. And then LMP was just the cherry on top at 3 in the morning. It really just got to me.
I was just so ready to leave after that race was over. And I wasn't even racing.
Well, it was a long
Yeah,
day.
you had to stay, so go you. Hey, at least you got some practice for 124th.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to call it for this week. But next week we'll have a full on-scene report from the big bucks race. Oh, yeah, we got a giveaway, too.
Giveaway.
So what are we giving away, Justin? We're going to give away that Cow RC stuff again, right?
Yep. The
Pit mat.
small pit mat with the 2 sprays, the Moo Clean, which is motor spray or electronic cleaner, and the Moo Slick, which I use to clean off my chassis.
Okay. Walker, is your name still in here?
Probably not.
I don't know.
You should definitely check just in case.
So Dave, wow. David,
Can't read it.
I'm going to spell it, WGLARZ.
Sure
Wieglar.
that G's not a A.
Wieglars? I don't know. Doug Wieglars. So Dave Wieglars, or it could be Weglars, WEGLARZ. You need to contact Justin, right, for this?
Yeah.
Contact Justin Colvin on Facebook, or just between the lanes, and we'll get you in touch with Justin. And then you can claim your prize, have it shipped to you. Next week, maybe we give some RAM chassis away or something.
Oh, yeah.
Some 4.5s.
Away. Just turn it away.
We got a lot of 4.5s.
Okay. Next week's All right. So, Justin, when do you race it? You know, you got to race what, August, the next enduro thing, or the
I don't think I'm going to do that one.
Okay.
I have retro this weekend.
Okay. Oh, no, Cal Retro is racing this weekend.
And then after that, I might do the Summer Series race in September. I'm not sure. It might be a little too close to Worlds for me.
Keeping up. Some of us have to make our hotel reservations and our airfare, air flights, and rental cars, right? Some of us.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm all booked.
Booked for what? Booked for prison or what?
I'm gonna ride a whale.
Ride a whale. There you go.
I might find a shark. Those are faster.
Maybe a dolphin.
Yeah, those would get annoying after a while, you know.
Well, you go out and get some air and go back in, come back
Yeah.
up for more air.
Yeah, I mean it'd be like a roller coaster. You'd be like at the in that one stupid ride that goes in and out of the water all the time. But
Okay.
at amusement parks, but the noise would just irritate me.
Okay, we'll be back next Wednesday. I might have a history lesson or history story. We'll see.
Oh boy,
I got some stuff I'm working on, but I just got to get some more.
history lesson from this weekend.
Yeah, well, that'll be a race report. As usual. So until next week, what's the secret word going to be?
Have we done handout yet?
Nope. You read my mind. I was going to say let's just do handout.
Sounds great to me.
Okay, Walker's agrees. Handout. That's the secret word. Until next week, everyone have a good weekend. Be safe. You're going racing. Good luck. And we'll see you next week for episode number 102. Bye-bye.